Well, for almost 100 years, strict racial segregation was a fact in parts of this country, and it was a stain on this country. Thankfully, it was eliminated a half a century ago, but now it is making a comeback in some places where the left is dominant, primarily college campuses. Radicals are openly endorsing segregated housing, graduation, social groups. Harvard has a segregated graduation. Young white liberals say it is needed to fix racism, but what do normal African Americans think of it? Good question. Filmmaker Ami Horowitz just investigated that in New York, and here's what he found.
Would you support segregated housing for black people?
I think a lot of schools have interest housing where black students can and students of color can live together.
Separate from white people?
Yeah, it's a normal thing at most campuses, I think.
And you guys are cool with that?
Yeah.
It comes from the school saying we're now going to offer black students separate housing.
Yeah, I would support it. I don't see a problem with that.
Okay, yeah. No, I would be supportive of it.
Why not? I want to be living with people like me.
It wouldn't change anything for me because, I mean, as you can see, I'm a white person. But if they would be happy,
I couldn't tell. Would you support black students having their own separate graduation?
I'm sure that's what they wanted.
So you'd be okay with that?
Yes.
Separate graduation?
Yeah, I definitely would.
Absolutely.
Just several blocks away from the campus bubble in the local black community, the opinions on this issue were unanimous.
Why? Are you going back in time? Why are you separating? We're all together.
Well, I don't understand the logic there.
I feel like that's basically segregation. We should all graduate together.
I feel that that's segregation and that shouldn't be happening.
It's obviously terrible to separate people by race.
Discrimination might not be the ultimate goal, but people take it that way.
Do you think it's almost racist to do that?
I would think.
It's really the greatest ever. What a brilliant idea. Did you, Ami, thanks so much for joining us. Was that pretty much the universal reaction from African Americans you spoke to?
I didn't find a single person who thought this was a good idea. They were gobsmacked. I mean, some of these guys were looking at me like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Did you tell them it's really for your own good?
That's right. The white man is telling you what's good for you. You should be, look, Tucker, this is so dangerous on so many levels.
Yeah,
Never mind that it reawakens this notion of segregation that we've been fighting for generations. But it's focusing on this politics of racial identity and playing on that in the absolute worst way. You know, when they asked Harvard about their policy that they have there, you know, Harvard said, well, we want to give something for our marginalized students. I'm thinking to myself, what, in any place on planet Earth, a black person feels the least marginalized in all of Earth on a university campus? If marginalization was the yardstick for what they need to segregate people, conservatives should be the only ones have their own separate housing and gyms and campuses.
I'm starting to think that really only people who make under 100 grand a year should be making our social policy of all colors. Because if you ask any normal person, is this, this or any other thing, can you change your sex just by tapping your, shoes together? No, it's transparently dumb, and most people know that, I think.
It's totally insane. Although I have to say, I did find a group of people that did agree with us. You didn't pay the end of the video. People want to see the end of the video. I actually found a group that's so woke that they've been this woke for generations. I spoke with the head of the KKK in North Carolina, and he loved this idea. His wife was so happy, she was crying. She was so thrilled with what these people are doing to the black students. So there you go. We found a group that actually enjoys it.
It's like the scene at the end of Animal Farm where the pigs and the men are eating together and you can't tell one from the other. It's like, talk about betraying the revolution. I mean, it's really unbelievable. Very smart and interesting and deep. Ami Horowitz, thanks very much.
My pleasure. Thank you.